As Jeff said, this is an exciting day for Keontae and his family, his brother Nate. We want to thank all family and friends that came out, all the coaches that are present, the administrators, Jessica for setting this up, all the help that she got with the sound system, etc. It's also a great opportunity to enjoy the wing, which I know Dr. Kelly is very proud of. So enjoy the weather, and let's see where this thing goes. Just a little background on Keontae. It was about a little over a year ago that he and Nate came to Cox High School, and I didn't know much about either one. And as we progressed through our spring training last year, we got to know each other a little bit better. Nate and I kind of got to build a relationship a little bit before Keontae and I did, because Nate was in the mix quite a bit. Keontae had hurt himself and hurt his shoulder. Since then, he's obviously had surgery, and he's like brand new, the bionic man. But Keontae was observing a lot, and the first thing I noticed about Keontae was how into it he was in terms of coaching. He was always out there trying to help out not only his brother, but all the other defensive backs. He's completely a student of the game. I mean, this guy takes his craft seriously. When we were out at passing league at Kellum, I'd be back there trying to help coach the DBs with Coach Graham, and I'd be bumping into Keontae. He'd be on the field yelling things, and a couple of times I think I even had to tell him, like, give me some space, move over. At any rate, when he got healthy again, it was great because he joined the team, and he was ready to go. And by about mid-season, he joined up with us. He played in, I think, our last 4 or 5 games, plus a couple playoff games. And a little story I wanted to share was over at Lansdowne, and I can't remember if we played them 6th or 7th last year, but it was after a bad loss at Salem, so it was an important game. And I remember getting in, and again, Keontae and I hadn't had too much of a interaction between one another. And after one play, Lansdowne was driving down toward the end zone, and Keontae kind of was doing what he was doing. He played a little bit outside of the scheme, I think, on that play, so I was yelling at him a little bit. And again, no response. So I kept yelling. Finally, he turned to me, and he ripped into me. And he gave it to me really, really good. So I didn't know what happened, if there was an injury timeout, but I had a minute to think about it and scratch my head. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to pull him out of the game and just give him a couple minutes to think about it. And, it was tough for Keontae in that regard, but it was good for Nate, because Nate went in as a substitute. And on the very next play, he got a pick in the end zone. So, but that right there kind of told me the kind of kid that Keontae was. Yes, he's quiet. Yes, he's unassuming, but he has a lot of fire in his belly, and he's a competitor. And whatever school he decides to go to, they're going to get a quality kid. And Keontae, I want to thank you for what you've done to represent the team and the school and the program. I'm sure your decision is going to be based on the relationship you feel you can build with that staff. And just like our relationship together has been built, I hope you continue to do everything you've done to get you to this point. And Nate, I'm glad we still get to hang with you for a couple more years. But Keontae, I think I speak on behalf of your teammates and the coaches. We look forward to following you wherever you go. And just as the sign says on the inside of that hallway in the locker room, one family, one destiny, brother. One family, one destiny. This time I'd like to hand it over to Coach Graham, who's the DB coach and D coordinator, who really got to build a close relationship with Keontae, and he's going to share a little bit more candid details on Keontae Jenkins.
Hey, good afternoon. Coach Brian Graham, Commander Graham today. First off, kind of reiterate a couple things about Keontae that Coach Stack brought up. We got him about a little over a year ago this time. We got both of them. And I want to thank his mom, his grandma, and some of his former coaches that are out there, his parents, for really bringing in not one but 2 very polite and humble kids to Cox. All right, very appreciative of that. The one thing that you may or may not know about Keontae, he is very soft-spoken, but he is as competitive as it gets. And when I mean competitive, the brothers are extremely competitive. His older brothers at Florida State, younger brother Nate here, a very competitive family. So yes, he is very soft-spoken, but he has a lot of inner drive, all right? And that is a tribute to his upbringing, to some of his former coaches that are here. That's not a one-man thing. That takes a lot of time and effort. So thank you for that. Like Coach Stack said, Keontae is a football savant. He is very savvy and very driven in the game of football. All right? You don't see guys like this come around very often in your program. He eats, sleeps, and drinks football. He really, really does. He appreciates the game, which from a coaching perspective, I appreciate. He understands what team is about. He understands what competitive edge is. He understands what work needs to be put in to be really, really good and to get to a spot like this. All right, because it's not every day that, you know, the Cox family or anyone for this matter has an opportunity to do what he's getting ready to do. But his understanding of what team is, what competitive advantage is, what it takes to get to this level is very apparent when you coach Keontae. Fastest kid I've seen. Those of you that have seen him run track, those of you that have seen him and play football out here, practice or on games, he is the fastest football player that I have ever coached. Along that, he's an extremely talented track athlete as well. Be very easy for him to rest on those laurels, but he doesn't. Okay? He continued to work. When we go through individual drills out here, he was at the front of the line. He was working with the younger kids on their craft, pushing his younger brother, Nate, to finish drills the way that they're supposed to be finished drills. So thank you for that, and it's something to see. Last thing, Keontae, you know, wherever you go, wherever you choose, you're always going to have me here. You always have Coach Stack. You're going to have your former teammates. You're going to have your Fox family, your Fox or your Cox faculty staff, your former coaches, and all your friends. We're here for you. Wherever you go, we can't wait to watch you flourish, and we wish you the best. All right, thank you very much.